Guys, welcome to the Adventures of TNT or TNT Podcast, whatever channel we're on. So, babe, what are we talking about today? What's going
on? Today we're talking about how Africans see African Americans or what they think of us.
Yeah, right.
So,
what do you mean? What do you mean? How
you have to watch the video. I found the video. We'll leave the original one in the description.
I didn't know there was a problem between African Americans and Africans.
Apparently, there is.
Yeah,
I
thought we was cool. Shoot, after Black Panther and that dance, yeah, I seen that dance. It was like, whoop.
Oh my god.
Whatever.
Okay.
Anyway, all right. So the video you're gonna be showing us today is what?
So it's a reaction.
Okay. Right.
To what I just said.
Okay.
How Africans view African Americans.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and check it out, guys. Y'all can leave your thoughts in the comment section. Let's go ahead and jump into this. All right. Well, first of all, this video is from Easy Boss. Is that Easy the Boss? Mm-hmm. That's his name? Okay. And if you want to see the full uncut, unfiltered video, definitely head over to his channel and show him some love.
The link will be in the description.
Say it again?
The link will be in the description.
Oh, yeah. The link will be in the description.
Today's video is going to be about how African people see, Black people in America. And this video I'm about to react to is something I found on Instagram that it's kind of funny, but at the same time, it might offend some people. I don't know. You be the judge.
Yes, sir.
Don't say nothing. Just give me your black card, bro. Just give it to me.
For what?
Oh.
You in a room full of white people, and you the only black nigga here.
There's only one white person.
They turn you to an Oreo, bro.
You said a room. You said give you my black card.
Yeah, give it to me, bro.
Oh.
Yeah, you mean your food stamps, nigga? I'm a Congolese person. I'm not one of you street American black hobo bitch, bro. Okay, don't get it mixed up. Okay, you could have just came here, been nice. We could have a cool conversation. I'm not one of you black Americans. Moi, je suis Congolais. Je suis prince du Congo. Tu me connais pas, all right? Don't play with me, man. I'm not one of you.
Well, your boy, he was being mean to me. If that's the case.
Oh, wow.
So
and he hit him with that multi-lingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He said hard ER. He called him the N-word with a hard ER.
Yeah.
Why? It's so disrespectful. You can't be disrespectful.
And that's what he was doing. He was trying to disrespect old dude. He was coming from like almost a superiority complex.
Mm-hmm. And then call him an Oreo because his other friends weren't black. Like, what does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, that's part of Americans, like this American exceptionalism, an American exceptionalism.
How is that an
exception? We feel as if we are better than everyone all over the world. And he was assuming that because this guy is in a room with other races of people, and maybe because he's African, that he was less than him. And so he was calling him an Oreo and all these kind of derogatory names because he decided to hang out with other ethnicities.
That's ignorant because ignorant. Some of the best friends I had were from other races and other ethnicities. And you learn so much having friends from different places.
So everything that he called him and mentioning that he was not one of these street African-American guys he was basically telling him in a nutshell that he's not ignorant.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that is a stereotype too. Not all and I think he knows that, but it was, when somebody's being disrespectful to you, you're gonna hit them in the gut.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all it is.
Yeah.
Word gymnastics.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting that though.
Yeah, exactly. You're gonna go for the low belt, I'm gonna go even lower.
Yeah.
He used the N-word and he actually used the ER. That is crazy.
The hard ER.
First of all, why did he have a problem with him having friends that were like not black? Like he first came in and then at the end he tried to claim like he's the victim. But why did he have a problem with the fact that I've been telling black people this for a long time. My friends who are black in America, I tell them, I was like, man, African people, they don't see black people as, African. One of the craziest things is that when I lived in Africa, I never heard of people using the word the black card. Like, give me a black, because we knew for a fact that that's something that can't be taken away. But I feel like
So the black card thing, we did have a conversation about it. And sometimes it's like a joke.
Yeah.
But then
This is used jokingly.
But sometimes it's used in a way to offend a black person, to say you're not black enough in order to prove your blackness to them.
Right.
And we did have a conversation about that. Yes. If you speak a certain way, if you like certain things, if you dress a certain way, people will jokingly take your black card away.
Exactly. And essentially, that's exactly what happened in this video. This guy was hanging out with multi-ethnic friends, and he, quote unquote, wanted to take his black card,
and it's
saying
done
that he isn't black enough. He was like, "You're supposed to be black. You know, you shouldn't be hanging out with these people." Like, that's some ignorant ass shit.
Right. And so you're saying something like that in a joking way,
right?
But a lot of times it's jokey joke, but then it's like you're trying to punch him in the gut, saying you're not black enough,
right?
And then you go into this whole thing of proving yourself to people who don't even matter,
right? And that's what the guy from Congo was doing. He was like, I don't have to prove myself to you,
right?
And what the craziest thing about that video was, his friend in the back was going to speak up for him, and he put his hand up like, nah. He was like, bro, I got this.
I got this.
Yeah, I got this. I'm going to let this motherfucker know.
America, black people actually feel like their blackness can be taken away from them. So they try to act like they are, or they try to be like, I'm the authentic black. I'm the blackest of the black. Because they feel like it's something that can be taken away. I'm telling you right now, the blackness can never be taken away from you. For example, when I came to America and I told a bunch of black people that I listened to country and all that, they were like, oh man, we're gonna take a black card away. And it was so foreign to me that I was like, how the hell can you take away something that God has put in my DNA? Like, you cannot take that away.
So that's something that you kind of have to learn as an American,
right?
You know, growing up, because both of us went through like the same experience,
right?
If you don't do things a certain way, but never thinking like, why am I responding this way to this person?
And you know, for a young black youth, it's a very puzzling issue, but I can imagine an African going through that,
or just
it had to be like, what the hell?
How you gonna tell me,
right?
But it's part of the culture here,
right? Exactly,
it's part of the culture, proving your blackness. How black can you be? But it's also kind of stereotypical trying to prove your blackness, because we aren't a monolith, and we say it all the time. Yet when it comes to certain things,
they act like it.
You know, some people.
Like, only in America that I've heard that stuff. Black people thinking they can take away your black card. Like, so you got to do all these things that black people do to prove that you're black. I'm like, you ain't got to do that. What's so crazy about that video? He was like, I'm not like one of you black Americans.
Ouch.
Which is crazy, because I've heard people in my family say the exact same thing. Same thing. That's what I always say. I used to tell my black friends when I was in the military, I used to tell my black friends, I'm like, yo, y'all need to quit claiming this African American stuff, like the motherland stuff. You need to stop claiming that, because these people in Africa, they do not see you as African. I remember before I came to America, my friends told me, this is messed up. They told me, they're like, okay, when you get to America, okay, let me use the accent. When you get to America, stay away from the niggas. That's not even my words. They actually said it. They said it. That's what they actually told me. How messed up is that? That's why I say black people need to stop using that word African American. They need to just call yourself American, because these people in Africa, they don't see you as African. They don't. From where I'm from.
So the problem with that is, and we've talked about this as well.
Yeah.
Every year, like since, is that thunder?
Yeah, thunder, baby.
Oh my goodness. It's a new term for us to be called. Like in the 50s, it was colored, and then the 60s, Negro, and then African American came about. And so I think it was used to quote unquote group us together.
Yeah.
But it doesn't. It separates us from everyone, because other people could come here and be like first generation, second generation American.
Yeah, I'm American.
And they're just American.
Always have that, I'm this. They're, I'm this American.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And other people in this country, they don't have that issue.
Yeah, and some people don't like to be referred to as African American. They just want to be black, or they just want to be an American.
Yeah.
Or a human being.
Right. Yeah. There you have it.
Called white people Oyibo. That's what you call them. When you see a white person, you call the person Oyibo. That's what it was. If you're black and you have an American accent, they called you the exact same thing, Oyibo, like a white person. They call you Oyibo. And a bunch of black people come from America to Africa, and they get called that, especially in Nigeria. And guess what? They get pissed off because they're like, I'm not white. Why are you seeing me as white? I'm part of you. They don't, and they don't see you like that. They don't see you like you're part of them. That's all I always say. Just drop that African American shit. I'm just going to let George explain the whole African American thing.
I also don't say African Americans. I find it cumbersome and confusing. Which part of Africa are we talking about? Egypt? Egypt is in Africa, but Egyptians aren't black. They're like the people in India. They're dark brown white people, but they're Africans. So why wouldn't an Egyptian citizen who becomes an Egyptian who becomes a U.S. citizen be called an African American? The same would apply to South Africa. Suppose a white racist from South Africa becomes an American citizen. Couldn't he call himself an African American? If for no other reason than just to bother black people.
Elon Musk.
And what about a black person born in South Africa who becomes an American citizen? Is he an African American, or is he a South African American? Or is he simply a South African American American?
He's totally right. You need to drop that African American stuff, because it's just weird having weird allegiance with a place or a certain kind of people that actually don't see you as part of them. It's just it's weird, because to be honest, these Africans, they look down on black people. I'm telling you that right now. Like, I'm just letting the cat out of the bag. They look down. They're like, you're not part of us. You're not one of us. And they criticize everything. Like, the worst stereotypes of black people, that's what they look at. I feel like Africans are more racist towards black Americans than any other. Like, it's bad. It's really bad. But not me. I love y'all, I love y'all. That's why I always call black people out whenever they do bad. Because I don't want good things for black people, Because I feel like we're one. Adam and Eve. We all came from Adam and Eve. It don't matter who it is. There's one race, the human race. That's why I love everybody. And I can't be racist. I can't help it. I can't. So I'm just gonna end with this. Your black card cannot be taken away from you. You don't have to be the blackest of the black. You don't have to be you don't have to claim to be African. That's who you are. That's who you are. You go to China, they're going to see you as black. You go to Russia, they're going to see you as black. You go to anywhere in the world, they're going to see you as black. So just be black, American, and just be cool with it. All right?
Right.
Anyways, guys, that's the whole video for today. If you guys like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, notification bell, hit me on the algorithm. We're on the road to 6,000 subscribers, and we're going to be at 7,000.
All right. So that's Easy the Boss, which this was a great video. I thought this was a very enlightening conversation, especially the way it started off. And it did highlight some of the points that we talked about in the past as far as being black in America and African American people or black people telling you that you're going to lose your black card for not being black enough. Something that we hear all the time.
Yeah. So I think this was a great conversation. Like you said, I think a lot of times with trying to categorize us as black people, some people, I guess they're doing it in order to unite us, but it further divides us, especially if you're just not American, because so many of us have been here for generations and generations and generations, and you technically don't know where your ancestors came from unless you do like a DNA test. But still, it's not just from that one place. A lot of Americans or Black Americans have a admixture. So, I don't know what the solution is, but I think just to be American is good enough for me.
Right. And me as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care for the association with African American.
Check that box.
I've never been to Africa. I know my ancestry is there, but my mannerisms, my culture, everything that I, for the most part, know is American.
Right.
And I can understand why Africans feel the way they do, because for a lot of the countries in Africa, they do have some sort of caste system, and they have the behaviors and the cultures that exist within their caste system. And when they look at America, we don't technically have a caste system here, but we do. Oh, okay. And that's what they see. So when he says that his friends in Africa or whatever, and they say, hey, if you're going to America, don't associate with these type of people. That's what he's talking about. He's talking about that caste system that a lot of Black American people don't want to acknowledge. And we talk about it all the time. We talk about the hierarchy here, and who you want to be around or who you want to associate with, or what happens when you deal with certain types of people. But nobody really wants to talk about how there actually is a system here. And you can tell where people lie within that system on the things that they value. Because for a lot of Africans, especially the immigrants that come here, there's a strong value in education.
Yeah.
And here in America, there is a class of people who do not value education at all.
Yep. You go to school, they worried about what you have on.
Yeah, you acting white. You talk educated. That ain't good. You need to talk more like me. And that's essentially what was happening at the beginning of this video. He was like, oh, you hanging out with them. You should be acting more like me.
Right.
And instantly in his brain, he instantly recognized where this person lie in that system. That's all that happened.
And the thing is, and I don't want people to get it confused.
We're all not the same.
I don't want people to get it confused. You can be from a certain area and not have that mindset.
Right. Yeah.
Not all people from certain areas have that mindset. Right. But like you said, the lack of education, or the lack of focus on education, is something that we experienced, especially like when you move around, because you move from Canada to Georgia, and it was like a culture shock. And if you are smart, I don't think it's happening anymore, but if you're smart, if you try to focus on your schoolwork, if you don't care about the clothes you have on, you will be bullied.
Yeah.
In certain places.
Right. Yeah. It still happens. But anyway, guys, we want to hear your thoughts, so y'all can leave them down below in the comment section. As always, like, share, and subscribe. And make sure you check out Easy the Boss. I'm sure he has other great videos, and we would probably love to check out some more of his content as well. Anyway, we'll see you guys next time. Take care.